I have experienced technology almost my entire life. However, I would be lying if I said that the way I used technology back as a child was not different in the slightest from how I use it now. As the great Bob Dylan said in one of his most famous songs, "The times they are a-changin'." The field of technology is easily no exception. Yes, like everyone else, I have experienced the change from VHS to DVDs to Apple TV, and changes from that one Sprint cell phone I had to the iPhone. However, I have a use of technology that literally keeps me alive. I am referring to devices that I attach myself to both give me insulin and keep track of my blood sugar. Let's start with the insulin pump made by a company called Omnipod. When I was first diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at the age of 8, the only way that I could give myself insulin was through taking shots at least 6 to 8 times each day. Later in the year, Omnipod developed an insulin pump, and I attach it to certain parts of my body every 3 days, for example, the one on my arm, and I use a device called the Personal Diabetes Manager, PDM for short, to command my pod to automatically deliver the insulin with a push of a button. The other device that I attach to my body every week is called the Continuous Glucose Monitor, or CGM. When I was diagnosed, I had to prick my finger and draw blood 24/7 to check my blood sugar level. 2 years later, a company called Dexcom invented the CGM and programmed it so that once its user attaches it anywhere in the body, including the one in my stomach, the CGM would be programmed to monitor blood sugar data from the transmitter of a device to a portable monitor that acts as a receiver. So while I still have to prick my finger each day, I do not have to do it as much as before, because I can now rely on my CGM. But my story does not end there. As I said earlier, each time I checked my blood sugar data from the CGM, I used to have a monitor that I called the receiver to obtain that information. In the following years, however, Dexcom has upgraded their technology so that all of the data that used to be transferred from that one receiver are now transferred to the iPhone. Often, some people in today's world would say, "I can't live without my iPhone." I literally cannot live without it. And I'm sure most people with type 1 diabetes would not have lived too long had it not been for the advancement of technology. I am more than grateful to have that experience with technology with these devices, because if it were not for these advancements, I would not be standing here giving this presentation.